We don't go by strict criteria when deciding whether something qualifies or not as an incredible archaeological find. We don't care if it's big or small. We're not bothered if it's 500 years old or 5,000. It doesn't matter whether it belonged to royalty or a farmer. All that matters to us is whether it's astonishing, and if it is, you'll find it in our videos. Here's our latest incredible lineup. Number 15. Giant skeleton in Varna. Well, let's start with one of the more peculiar finds that came in April 2015 when Bulgarian archaeologist Valery Yotov uncovered what appears to be a giant human skeleton in the city of Varna. Known in ancient times as Odessos under Greek rule nearly 2,700 years ago, the city's layers run deep. Based on Yotov's photos, the skeleton belonged to someone larger than average. Yet frustratingly, Yotov has refused to release its precise measurements, stating he doesn't want to cause a media frenzy. That ship has sailed. Once the story broke, it went global. The skeleton was found near the city's old defensive walls. The body was laid east to west, hands crossed over the chest, suggesting a respectful burial, possibly of someone important. Even more curious, there are no other burials in that area, which hints at a unique connection to the wall. Whether he was a guardian, noble, or anomaly, no one can say for sure. But until the data is fully shared, which will never happen, the mystery around this figure will stay unresolved. Number 14. Sudan sets miniature pyramids in Sedinga. While burials in the Sudanese desert aren't unusual, a cluster of 35 ancient tombs recently uncovered in Sedinga raised eyebrows for one reason, and it's not their face, but their shape. These tombs were built in the form of small pyramids, echoing the iconic style of Egypt's Giza structures, though on a much smaller scale. Despite their modest size, the design resemblance is unmistakable. The site, located in northern Sudan, once belonged to the Kingdom of Kush, a territory that bordered both Egypt and the Roman Empire. This architectural overlap points to stronger Egyptian influence than previously assumed. Sadly, every single tomb had already been raided by looters before archaeologists reached it. That loss means critical context and potential artifacts are gone forever. But the structure alone speaks volumes. Some pyramids featured cross-bracing walls connecting each corner to a central point, a design unique to this site. Why it was used, or what it symbolized, remains unanswered, like D.B. Copper's disappearance. But it shows Sedinga wasn't just borrowing ideas, it was experimenting with them. Number 13. Buried structures in the Western Sahara. The Sahara Desert stretches across more than 3 million square miles, more than enough space to hide entire histories beneath its sand. In 2020, archaeologists working in the Western Sahara reported a great find, a scattered network of stone structures hidden below the dunes. Until now, this region had barely been explored, making the find even more significant. The found shapes vary, some crescent-shaped, others circular or linear. Several resemble dolmens, hinting at burial or ceremonial uses. Dating these formations isn't straightforward, but human remains near one dolmen suggest an age of roughly 1,500 years. Petroglyphs of camels and other animals, along with evidence of long-dried lakes, point to a time when the Sahara wasn't as barren, likely once a livable landscape. Who built these structures, and why, remains unsolved. But this is likely just the surface. The Western Sahara might still be keeping entire lost cultures buried beneath layers of time, sand, and silence, waiting to be uncovered by the next sweep of the shovel. Number 12. Roman figurine in Gloucester. This next artifact is also 1,800 years old, but far smaller than a citadel. It's a Roman figurine of a woman, most likely a depiction of Venus, found in September 2021 at a housing development site in Gloucester, England. Venus, the Roman goddess of love, was a common household figure among Roman Britons, but this particular discovery stands out due to its exceptional condition. Gloucester has yielded Roman artifacts before, but rarely as intact as this 6.5-inch statue. Though it surfaced in England, it likely wasn't made there. The style aligns more closely with pieces from central France and the Rhineland in Germany, suggesting it was brought over by a migrant. The dig that produced the figurine also revealed stone foundations, possibly marking the edge of a previously unknown Roman suburb outside the city walls. If that's confirmed, this single dig could mark the beginning of a wider rediscovery of Roman Britain's spread in the region. Gloucester might still be hiding much more under its soil. Number 11. Lost Roman city under Falerii Novi. Using ground-penetrating radar, archaeologists revealed an entire Roman city hidden beneath Falerii Novi, Italy, without lifting a single stone. This city, believed to have been founded around 240 BCE, remained occupied for nearly 900 years before disappearing underground. While the site includes typical Roman structures, baths, temples, a theater, the real intrigue lies in an unusual 180-foot monument. Its layout and features don't match any known Roman structure. Instead, researchers from the University of Cambridge believe it may predate Roman influence, possibly a sacred site for the Faliscan people who lived here before the empire took control. Built-in water channels ran beneath homes, showing a high level of infrastructure planning. The monument's recessed niches might have once held fountains or statues, though no remnants remain. Most of Falerii Novi now lies below layers of earth, but its architectural complexity suggests a cultural blend where pre-Roman traditions weren't erased, they were integrated. This hidden city proves history doesn't always vanish, it just waits under the dark ground. Number 10, 25,000-year-old jawbone in Sulawesi. In the summer of 2021, archaeologists combing Sulawesi Island in Indonesia found solid proof to back a theory long dismissed that humans had settled the island much earlier than previously believed. Their evidence came in the form of a 25,000-year-old human jawbone. This makes it the oldest known sign of human life on Sulawesi, shattering the notion that the island was uninhabited until the end of the last ice age. The discovery, announced in October 2021, was made inside Laying Bulu Batu cave. It's now believed that a small group once lived there. In the same cave, archaeologists found early rock art, including a small sun-shaped plaque. That artwork appears to be roughly 5,000 years younger than the jawbone. The bone itself is too fragile for scientists to determine gender, but they believe it may have belonged either to an older man or a younger woman with badly worn teeth. The next question is critical. Who were these early people and where did they come from? Well, I have a simple answer: I don't know. Number 9. Sarcophagus of Prince Thutmose's cat Tamiu. To be treasured in life is one thing, but Tamiu, the adored cat of Crown Prince Thutmose, was honored beyond death. She was placed inside a custom-crafted limestone sarcophagus, richly carved with hieroglyphs and symbolic imagery. One panel shows Tamiu seated before an offering table stacked with sacred foods, bread, beer, and the foreleg of an ox. Behind her stands the goddess Bastet. The back is etched with a lotus bloom, symbolizing rebirth and eternal renewal. Tamai herself was mummified, an honor generally reserved for humans and sacred animals. The sarcophagus's sides show images of Isis and other deities, underscoring the spiritual importance placed on this cat. This isn't just a burial, it's a statement of reverence. In ancient Egypt, cats weren't mere companions, they were believed to bring protection and fortune. Tamiu's resting place reflects not only personal affection, but cultural values that made felines almost divine. This discovery captures the spiritual depth and personal emotion woven into Egyptian ritual life. Number 8. Tattooed mothers of ancient Egypt. Tattoos weren't just decoration in ancient Egypt, they may have been protection. In 2022, researchers proposed that certain tattoos on female mummies served as spiritual safeguards during pregnancy, childbirth, and recovery. This theory emerged after examining 6 mummified women buried roughly 3,000 years ago at Deir el-Medina. All had given birth during their lifetimes, and their bodies bore tattoos on the lower back, eerily echoing tattoo placements that surged in popularity thousands of years later. One particularly well-preserved body features an image of the deity Bes, protector of women and children. along with a ritual bowl symbolizing purification. Another showed a zigzag pattern possibly referencing marsh water, which Egyptian women often used to relieve labor pains. These designs suggest the tattoos were more than symbolic, they likely held medical or ritual function. Instead of ornamentation, these permanent markings may have been ancient tools for resilience and safety during the most vulnerable stages of life. It's a rare and emotional bridge between the ancient body and enduring belief. Number 7. Sandstone Shiva Linga in My Son. A newly uncovered sandstone Shiva Linga in Quang province has added yet another layer of cultural significance to the My Son temple complex. Created by the Cham people between 300 and 1300 CE, this temple site is already recognized as one of Southeast Asia's most crucial ancient religious centers, and now with the discovery of this remarkably well-preserved Shiva Linga, that status is even more solidified. The artifact was found amidst the ruins of a collapsed temple within the complex. Despite the destruction around it, the linga remains nearly untouched, a rare stroke of preservation. According to Hindu belief, the linga symbolizes divine energy and creation, and finding one in such pristine condition after centuries of exposure is exceptional. My Son has long reflected deep cultural ties between India and ancient Vietnam, and this artifact cements that bond even further. Recognized by UNESCO as a World Heritage Site, the discovery reinforces the region's significance and offers a new window into early Cham religious devotion. Number 6. Pentridge Prison. Looking at the remnants of Pentridge Prison in Melbourne, it's hard to believe it remained operational until 1997. The architecture feels centuries older, but the prison was built in the 1850s. Since its closure, archaeologists have returned repeatedly, uncovering layers of history and deeply weird artifacts. While the remains of infamous outlaw Ned Kelly made headlines, researchers have shown particular interest in 3 panopticon-style exercise yards. These segmented, pie-shaped areas were used for solitary prisoners and allowed minimal outdoor time. Each was forced to pace silently, unable to speak or interact, while constantly observed from a central tower. The psychological impact of this setup was severe. These yards were eventually abandoned as they were known to drive inmates to madness. In 2012, excavations revealed claustrophobic 3 by 10-foot isolation cells that once housed these prisoners. The combination of strict silence, constant surveillance, and physical confinement makes it no mystery why so many inmates lost their minds. Pentridge was designed for control, not rehabilitation. Number 5. Tikal Sips, Hidden Citadel. Recent advances in technology are allowing archaeologists to detect what was once invisible to the eye. One of the most groundbreaking tools in recent years is LiDAR, short for light detection and ranging. In 2021, LiDAR granted us our first clear glimpse of a long-lost citadel in Tikal, Guatemala. Tikal was a major city in the classic Maya period, but until this breakthrough, the citadel's area was assumed to be nothing more than a series of hills. It's now confirmed that those were artificial mounds hiding centuries-old ruins. Among them, a structure over 1,800 years old bears an uncanny resemblance to the famed citadel of Teotihuacan, except in scale. This one is notably smaller, almost as though it were a replica. There's no clear reason why it was built that way, but the find has completely altered our understanding of how closely Tikal and Teotihuacan were connected. The cultural exchange between the two cities was far deeper than previously believed. Why the buildings were demolished and buried remains unanswered. Number 4. Neolithic standing stones in St. Leonard. Something is off about the arrangement of Neolithic standing stones found in St. Leonard. Known as menhirs, these stones are aligned in a perfectly straight line, completely out of step with the typical circular or road layouts of other prehistoric monuments from around 4,500 years ago. The discovery, made in August 2021, came during a construction excavation, which sadly means the stones won't remain where they are for long. Construction is moving forward, and archaeologists will be forced to remove them from their original setting for further study. That removal could erase vital clues about why these stones were aligned so precisely. Unlike other known Neolithic sites, there's no clear ceremonial or astronomical pattern here, only that unnatural linear precision. Experts have had time to analyze the site, but still can't definitively explain its purpose. Whether the alignment had symbolic meaning, spiritual intent, or served some now lost function, the arrangement challenges everything we thought we knew about them. Number 3. Neolithic blade polishing stone in Dorset. At the Valley of Stones National Nature Reserve in Dorset, volunteers clearing thick brush stumbled upon something ancient, a Neolithic blade polishing stone known as a polissoir. This type of sandstone boulder, used over 5,000 years ago to sharpen and polish stone axe heads, is only the second of its kind found in this region, still anchored in its real position. The stone's surface is scooped and glassy smooth, worn down by repeated axe grinding. Its discovery was witnessed by Ann Tether and Jim Rylat, directors of Past Participate CIC, a heritage-focused nonprofit. Archaeologists have since excavated the area around the stone, hoping to uncover additional materials or context. Its location along what appears to have been an ancient travel route suggests that this wasn't a settlement, but a site people passed through regularly. Because not every stone could serve such a specific purpose, finding one like this likely meant it became a key resource, valued, protected, and possibly fought over within early Neolithic communities. Number 2. The Osirian of Abydos. Behind the Temple of Seti in Abydos, Egypt, lies the mysterious Osirian, a megalithic structure whose purpose still sparks debate. Built from massive limestone blocks, it features a raised stone platform surrounded by a water-filled basin at least 34 feet deep. Some suggest it may have functioned as a symbolic tomb or possibly a ceremonial well. The Osirian's design is unique in Egypt, with architectural similarities only seen in Giza's Valley Temple. First excavated in the early 1900s by Flinders Petrie and Margaret Murray, the Osirian sits 55 feet below ground level, hidden from plain view. Although some scholars argue it predates Seti, inscriptions in the surrounding temple confirm it was constructed during his reign around 1294-1279 BCE. Modern research has attempted to pump out water from the canal for a better look at its base, but challenges persist. Despite ongoing theories, its true function remains unresolved. Part tomb, part monument, part mystery, capturing the imagination of historians and symbolizing the depth of Egypt's spiritual architecture. Alright, now let's end this with number 1, the tiger-guarded temples of Bandhavgarh. In central India's Bandhavgarh Tiger Reserve, a team of fearless archaeologists braved thick jungle and prowling tigers to uncover a long-forgotten cluster of Buddhist temples. Hidden for over 80 years, the site includes 26 cave shrines carved between 2,200 and 2,500 years ago, some featuring still visible sculptures and Brahmi inscriptions. Inside the temples, experts found 46 statues, 24 inscriptions, 2 votive stupas, and even ancient water storage systems. Remarkably, traces of religious use continued as recently as the 11th century, with certain structures possibly updated in the 15th century. Among the discoveries were fragments of board games carved into stone, proof that monks and pilgrims spent significant time at the site. The most striking feature is an enormous varaha, aka boar sculpture believed to date between the 9th and 13th centuries. Despite earlier expeditions, the latest survey is the first since 1938 to document this level of detail. Bandhavgarh now stands not just as a wildlife sanctuary, but a preserved chapter of India's deep spiritual and artistic legacy. If you've enjoyed this video, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next one.